students, welcome back to the chapter 9 Strategies for Enhancement in Food Production. In the previous video, we discussed about techniques of animal breeding, whereas today in this lecture 4, we are going to discuss apiculture and fishery as other two branches of animal husbandry. Let's begin with apiculture. What is apiculture? Apis means honeybees. You might have seen beautiful honeybees, and culture means rearing. It is the scientific method of rearing honeybees in artificial hives for the production of honey and also bee wax. So we will get product in this form as a honey, and also we will get a product in the form of bee wax, which are having n number of applications. Now, what is honey? Honey is a food of a high nutritive value. It is made up of 20% of water, 70 to 80% of sugar like fructose. Traces of minerals will be there. Rich source of minerals it is. Rich source of enzymes and vitamins, and also it contains different plant pigment. So we can say that honey is a sweet syrup which is with a high nutritive value. It is used in the Ayurvedic medicine. If you have observed carefully, whenever you are made to take Ayurvedic medicine, the base of the medicine will be honey. We have to dissolve the medicine in the honey and then we have to consume. So, it is used as indigenous, that is Indian medicine practice. Honey is also used to cure problems like vomiting, dysentery, stomach and liver diseases. It also acts as a natural bleach, so it is also used to enhance the face color. Bee wax, which is also called as honey wax, is used in the cosmetics and also is used in the polishes. So this is a bee wax we used in the cosmetic and the beautiful polishes which are prepared by the honey wax. Honeybees are said to be the good and important agent of pollination. They bring cross pollination and thereby increase the yield of the crop plants. Some of the indigenous species of the honeybees, let's try to understand. The first one is called Apis indica, Indian bee it is. Second one is called Apis dorsata. Third one is called Apis florae. So in a NEET exam, that is in the competitive exam, you may ask to identify Indian or indigenous species of the honeybees. So this slide helps for that. Whereas coming to the breeds of the honeybees which are originated outside the country of India, like Apis mellifera is said to be exotic breed. Now, beekeeping can be practiced in any area where there are sufficient amount of flowering plants are present as wild shrub, or in the orchard where beautiful flowering plants can be cultured, and there we can keep our beehive. And also we can keep or we can practice beekeeping in the cultivated crop, which are going to increase, the bees are going to increase the agricultural yield. Now, if we want to go for apiculture, if I want to extract the product from the honeybees, then there are some important points which we should know. So, following are the points which are important for successful beekeeping. Once again, this question is asked 2 times in the board exam, so you have to pay attention here. The first point is knowledge of type of the honeybee, nature of the honeybee and habit of the honeybee we should know, because we came to know there are 4 species of the honeybee, correct? Like that there are different varieties of bees are there, their type, their nature, their habit we should know, then only we can become a successful beekeeper. We have to select a suitable location. While selecting the location, we should keep one point in our mind, that the place where we are going to keep our beehive, from that area minimum to 1.5 kilometer radius flowering plants must be there. So then we will get a good harvest. Then we should know how to manage beehives in a different season. Then knowledge of catching of a swarm is important. Now the question comes, what is a swarm? Correct. So many a times you might have seen honeybees moving from one place to another. They leave the old place and will go in search of new place to construct a new hive. So that in large number, if the bees leave the old area in search of new area, then it is called swarm. If that happens, how we bring back those honeybees to our hive? That knowledge we should have. Then knowledge of handling and collection of honey and bee wax are very very important to become a successful beekeeping. So this question can be asked for 3 marks. Now let's try to understand another that is advantages of the beekeeping. Bees are the best pollinators. They bring cross pollination, especially in the plants like sunflower, brassica, apple, pear, etc. So usually in these fields the beehive will be kept so that yield doubles. Keeping beehive in the flowering period increases pollination efficiency. They bring cross pollination and improves both crop yield and honey yield. So we'll get honey also, we'll get crop yield also. So it is these are the advantages of beekeeping. Now let us try to understand another branch of animal husbandry, that is a fishery. What is a fishery? Fishery involves rearing, breeding, catching of fishes, of shellfishes like prawns and also the lobster for the sake of the food and also for the other byproducts. Even we can rear what? Crabs. Crab is also with a high protein content and it is also edible. All these animals are reared for the sake of food and other byproducts. Now, there are types of fisheries present. What are they? Capture fishery, which involves capture of fishes from natural habitats such as rivers, seas, ponds, wells, etc. You might have seen people going with a net to catch the fishes. That becomes a capture fishery. We just capture and we consume. So that can be done in sea water. If it is done in sea or salt water, then it is called marine fishery. In the seas it is done usually, and large number of fishes are captured. Like pomfret, an example for marine fish, hilsa, another example for marine fish, and the sardina. You may ask why these 3 examples are given, because again in competitive exam you may be asked to choose a marine fish. So here 3 are given: pomfret, hilsa and sardina. Now coming to inland fishery. The fishery which is done in the freshwater bodies such as rivers, lakes, ponds, etc. is called inland fishery. So this is an example for inland fishery. In one of the water tank it is done. So this is also an example for inland fishery. Okay, so this is a freshwater fishery. So example for freshwater fishes are rohu. The next one is katla. These are the freshwater fishes. Now culture fishery. What is culture fishery, which is also called pisciculture? It involves culture of fishes in artificial fish farm. We are going to construct artificial ponds which will meet the demand of the fish, and then we culture the fishes. And the area where we are constructing our tank or that is called happa. So that you have to remember. Now these are the examples of the happa where the different type of fishes will be cultured. Now pisciculture is the art of rearing fishes and shellfishes like fishes, prawn and lobsters, whereas there is another branch called aquaculture where we are going to rear not only the fishes, not only the aquatic animals, even the aquatic plants are also cultured. By doing this aquaculture and pisciculture, we have improved the number of fishes, that is aquaculture production is increased, production of aquatic animals and aquatic plants is increased, which has led to the development of and flourishing of fish industry, that is fishery. So advancement which are done with respect to fishery industry is called as blue revolution. You can see here so many fishes we have cultured, okay, and that indicates blue revolution. In this video, we discussed two important animal husbandry branches. They are apiculture and fishery. Whereas in the next video, we will discuss objectives of plant breeding. So with this apiculture and fishery, we completed our discussion with respect to animal husbandry. So next we will discuss with the plants. Hope you understood the content of this video, students. Thank you.